For the PressCorps, I'm Jeffrey Jennings, and this is Foxhole Flash. I'm joined here live in the studio with 22nd Armored Cavalry Regiment, aka 22 ACR, Lieutenant spscarface, who did not participate personally in the very recent rocket attack on Solace Gorge and Callahan's Passage, but did participate in the second Colonial rocket attack on Ogmaran. spscarface, how much did you participate in that second launch?
For this second launch, it was quite a journey. We had come across the missile site as we were clearing out the Warden Menace in Endless Shore. We were in a battle tank, and our 22 ACR was in a battle tank, and we were clearing them off the island in Endless Shore when we came upon the missile site, which had not been constructed by the Wardens, surprisingly. We expected them to have it set up ready to launch, but they didn't. So we took advantage of that, and we started to construct the missile site immediately.
And Endless Shore.
In Endless Shore, yes.
And what was the choice? Why was Ogmaran and Morin County the choice of a target?
Well, we had multiple choices laid out to us. Ogmaran and Solace Gorge were our top two choices, but in the end it came down to Ogmaran because the facilities within Ogmaran and the town hall were all within the blast radius of the missile. Unlike Solace Gorge, where the town hall and the facilities within the town are completely separated.
And this target only just in the same region as the very first rocket that ever hit here in the Foxhole War of Spade. Did that factor in as well, being so close to Spade?
No, not really. It was more for the fact that Ogmaran was a Victory Point town hall, and the location of the facilities next to the town hall, and that Ogmaran was out of the way, so we didn't really want the Colonial Army to have to overextend to hold Ogmaran in the future.
If you can't have it, nobody can have it. That was the mentality?
Yeah, something like that.
Right. Now, did any other outfits participate in helping to fuel or target the rocket at any point?
So once we captured the missile site in Endless Shore, thanks to our Colonial logistics, they happily supplied us with thousands of BMATs, RMATs, and builders to start fortifying the area. We had a multitude of bunker walls and AT turrets, which, as you could imagine, RMATs are not easy to come by. So
how many layers of defense?
Us a favor.
How many layers of defense around the rocket site?
When we first began, we really wanted to go for a 65-meter perimeter of defense, which we accomplished to prevent mortar strikes on our missile. But our builder team really went above and beyond and increased it beyond 65 meters. I'd say it was probably like at least 100-meter defense, maybe more.
All right. And how long did it take to fuel the rocket?
Well, before we had to fuel the rocket, we had to gather the rocket components, which include
the rocket booster and the warhead?
The warhead.
Okay.
And 200 BMATs and 5 upgrade parts. Luckily for us, our friend Grom Hellscream provided us with a rocket booster blueprint, which we then took to a factory to be produced, which costed us 800 RMATs, and a 22 ACR member, Slushy, also known as Golden Leader, made us the warhead for said rocket.
I see. And in terms of actually spotting the coordinates, that had to have been within 130 meters at least, at the most, to actually get into the town. Was there a fight to actually target Ogmaran, or was it more of a stealthy approach?
Well, once we had the rocket fueled up, which was a 24-hour process, we wanted to hit Ogmaran. However, Colonial forces had already captured it, and we were not to fire upon it. So we had to switch targets, and Soul Scourge was our second priority. However, we were having trouble getting spotters within the city, so we decided to move to side fronts. We tried reaching trail, targeting Elksford. However, uh, the last minute our spotter needed to transmit his coordinates, he was killed by wardens. After that, we attempted to target Scala Estates and the Great March. That was also thwarted. But by the time the spotter was killed in Estates, Ogmaran had been recaptured by the wardens. So we attempted once again, to spot for Ogmaran, which was eventually successful.
Sounds like a harrowing process indeed. Well, anything else you'd like to share live on the air here towards anyone, wardens, colonials, fellow people that helped you out here? Any closing statements?
I'm just glad that we didn't produce a Jade Cove 2.0 on the Colonial side.
Very well then. Well, thank you so much for your time. Uh, 22 ACR, 22nd Armored Cavalry Regiment, Lieutenant spscarface joining us here in the studio. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure, for the Legion.